Urban Therapy with Sun 752. This is your daily go getterism number 600 for May 25th, 2016. Listen, I come to y'all tonight with heavy heart because my nephew was killed last night. So I want to say rest in peace, Chris. And I want to send a shout out, a comforting, hopefully helpful shout out to my family. It's really tragic. It's really tragic when these young people out here become victims of the street. I am happy to know that, according to the reports, that he wasn't directly involved in anything that should have caused his death. He was actually caught in the crossfire. But I want to say rest in peace, Chris. And I want to say that we love you and we miss you already. You were a good dude. Had a lot of potential. Always respectful. And definitely representative of your upbringing. So, rest in peace, my brother. And for everybody in the Morgan family, I'm going to say peace to y'all. And I want to say that we lost one, but we still have each other. And if we don't get anything from this, one thing that we have learned through all of this is that we have to love each other while we're still here. And we definitely represented that with Chris while he was still here. So now that he's gone, I guess the only regrets that we really have is that he's gone. And that's that. Today, should I say tonight, I wanted to talk to y'all about skating on thin ice. Skating on thin ice, that's serious. That's serious business right there. When you talk about skating on thin ice, you know, we all get to the point where we push things right up to the breaking point. We get things to the point, or we push things to the point where we know that if we go any further that it's going to cause us way more trouble than we bargained for. And sometimes we still push the envelope even though we know that we're way in over our heads. It's crazy. Get suspended multiple times at work. Get written up multiple times at work. A lot of jobs are based on the disciplinary process is based on a point system. So let's say we have 10 points, and the 10th point is termination. So we push it all the way up to 8. So we don't have a lot of wiggle room. Some of us get all the way up to 9. We get up to 9, and we know that every year they drop off like let's say 3 points. So we get it right up to the 9th point. And then that year we get a bad review, but we're able to keep our job and we drop 3 points. So now we're at 6. What do? The next year, throughout this next year, we push it right back up to 8 or 9. It ain't gotta be that way, man. You know, because finally, ultimately, we wind up getting fired, and then we want to blame everybody except for ourselves because we didn't follow the rules. But we were skating on thin ice and we didn't care. You know. Same thing with our girlfriends, spouses. We get caught cheating. What do? We be good for a hot minute. Get caught cheating again with the same girl. Skating with thin ice. You can only push some women but so far. You got to be smart about that. You can only push them but so far. That's why it's best to keep it 100 up front. Because if you don't, well, a whole lot of things can happen. And anybody who has ever been in a really, really bad breakup, I'm not even going to talk about the whole retaliation part of it. Because I don't want to encourage that, number one. And number two, a lot of times the whole retaliation thing involves people that are immature and not very forward thinking. So if you are mature and you are responsible, you won't seek revenge. You get them where it really hurts. Because if they really want you and you restrict yourself from them, that hurts a lot more. Especially when you do it if you're not mad. But they were skating on thin ice. They didn't respect you. I don't know what's going on with my eye, man. Allergies killing me. But yeah, they didn't respect you. They were skating on thin ice, and you had to make a move. Basically, they skated on the ice that was too thin, and they fell in and froze. Oh man, this is crazy. But anyway, it feels like it's a rock in my eye, man. All right, we can always do better in the things that we do. Always, we can always improve ourselves, no matter how good we are. But when we start taking things for granted, when we start taking unfair advantage of things, that's when we skate on thin ice. And sometimes we don't even act like we're cognizant of the thin ice that we're skating on. So we keep skating more and more and more and more and more and more, getting ourselves into deeper and deeper trouble. And you lose a lot of respect from people when you skate on thin ice, because they realize that you're reckless and you're irresponsible and you're inconsiderate and uncaring. And none of those things are really good. Taking unfair advantage of people. Taking advantage of people is one thing, but taking unfair advantage of people means that you use them for bad things instead of using them for things that are constructive and productive. So we got to do better when it comes to dealing with that. Now, if you feel like somebody has been skating on thin ice with you, you got to make a move. Because if you don't make a move and you allow them to keep skating on thin ice with you, then they shouldn't stop. Because you're not willing to do anything for yourself. You can't just sit back and complain complain your way to success. You can't. Believe me, if you could complain your way to success, there'll be a whole lot of successful people out there. But there comes a time when you have to make a move. You have to stand by what you say and follow through. Be consistent. And that's how you get respect. Kids respect people. They respect adults who do what they say that they're going to do and follow through. When you're soft on children, they take unnecessary chances with your kindness and your leniency, and they will take unfair advantage of you and have you running around like a chicken with your head cut off. And the child ain't gonna blame themselves for stressing you out. So you got to do something for yourself. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And yo, one last thing. The pets. The way you train a pet is by being consistent. If you're inconsistent with a pet,